Hello, fellow Movie Crusaders, and welcome to our special fall end of the year movie preview. My name is Sean Waskrew. With me, as always, is Brian Michaels. The summer season is over, and if you want to watch our review for that, it is out right now. But we are now going into September, which means it is now time for fall and the rest of the summer or end of movie slate for 2025. Summer, as you can see in our review, wasn't as great as we expected it to be. And while I said at the end of the summer movie review, it's like, oh, there's some big ones here coming in the fall. After we got off the camera, Brian's like, is there though? And I'm like, you know what? Now that I think of it, maybe not. But we're going to discuss what we.
There are a lot of movies coming out. A lot of them that we're excited about, not so much.
Yeah, and like I said on our Decades of Animation 2010s, there's still a lot of movies that we don't even know about yet. I mean, there's trailers coming out for stuff that we didn't even know existed.
Most trailer dropped today for one that's gonna rank high on my list, so it's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, there's still some on Netflix. They announced something, but we still don't know anything about it. And then all of a sudden we'll get a trailer, and it's like it's out in 2 weeks. So we can only go over the stuff that we know about, and there will be certain movies where it's like, oh, there's this movie with these people. We really don't know much about it. But in terms of
change too. Dates are subject
oh yeah, things will change. Things will end up getting pushed back to 2027 that we don't know about yet, or 2026 that we don't know about yet. But yeah, I mean, in terms of the landscape of what we know about, you and I are both kind of in agreement in terms of box office stuff, which I know we don't really spend a huge time on box office when it comes to the rest of the year. It's kind of only a summer thing that we really focus on. Outside of like 3, maybe 4 movies, the box office doesn't look like it's going to have a really big end of year, right?
Yeah, no, it's going to be a lot of like small to medium sized movies and just a couple blockbusters. There's not going to be a lot of money made, at least by other movies in the rest of this year.
If anything, I'm seeing a lot of re-releases of old movies. Like even September 12th here, I'm seeing Sound of Music and Toy Story re-release, and it's like, okay.
Well, this past week alone, it was like you could see Jaws, you could see 40-Year-Old Virgin, you could see Trainwreck of all films. All these movies are getting random releases because they did want to put something in the theaters because the summer stuff's not making money anymore. So like, well, let's try and put something out there.
Or case in point, the #1 movie of this weekend, K-Pop Demon Hunters, which came out on Netflix in June? Was it
something
June?
like that? Yeah.
And it is now in theaters. It's the #1 movie over Weapons, thank God. That's had it for 2 straight weeks. And honestly, I mean, we still have August 29th release to come. So I mean, we're shooting this a little bit early. I don't think Caught Stealing is going to knock Weapons or K-Pop off its mark. Do you? Do you think anything else besides Caught Stealing could contend?
No, I'm just taking a quick look.
How long is K-Pop in theaters for? Is it actually?
That was it. It was a 2-day event. That's it.
Okay, it was just the weekend. Okay, so K-Pop is out now. So it's basically do we think Caught Stealing or Toxic Avenger definitely not going to do it?
Toxic's not. The Roses, I mean, could get some money, but it's
not going to knock Weapons off the #1 spot.
I think Weapons will stay there.
I think Weapons will stay there until the first week of September, and then I think what comes out the first of September will take the #1 spot. But landscape-wise, like, how are you feeling with the rest of the year? Like, I know it's not positive, but
the rest of the year is not great. Like I said, there's quantity-wise, there are a ton of movies coming out. There are some that are going to be huge, giant hits that are maybe the ones I'm not particularly most excited about. There's some tiny movies that I'm really excited about that are going to make no money or are going to streaming. And then there's a whole lot of stuff that just kind of like, maybe I'll see it, maybe I won't. It's just there's a lot of stuff coming out that just doesn't interest me much. So
yeah, and for me, I mean, like, kind of the same boat. Like, yeah, there's some big name stuff that I'm intrigued enough to see. There's maybe one that I'm like genuinely excited to see, and then a lot of the other stuff that I'm like, ooh, is smaller scale stuff that either A, is not going to be in theaters and I'm going to have to wait for it to pop up on digital, or it's going to be something that is in theaters but it's probably not going to make much of anything, and it's either going to have to be a surprise hit, or it's going to be, I watched that, I don't even know what that is. Well, it came out, and we're going to talk about it, and you guys probably aren't going to give a shit about our reviews for it because it's not a big enough of a name. But how we always do this for people who have never been here before, we kind of just go week to week with it. We don't do like our rankings that we normally do. Like this is our top 10 most anticipated. We're gonna go week to week with what's coming out, talk about it. At the end, we might go, what are you most excited for? You know, stuff like that. So we're basically gonna go down the review or the release date schedule and just talk about whatever pops up for us and go from there. So Brian, take it away. Your release schedule is a little bit better than mine. But we do have some overlaps. So,
all right. So just a couple. I'll list off the releases for September 5th, being the first weekend. You have Twinless, which is a tiny independent movie starring Dylan O'Brien. It's kind of a drama that made the festival circuit earlier this year. You have Splitsville, which I don't know much about. I don't know it has Dakota Johnson in it. I think Adria Arjona is in it as well, which would be the only reason I might see it because I don't like Dakota Johnson. Movie called Pools, which is Mason Gooding, and the main star is Odessa. What's her last name? Odessa Azian, who was just in Until Dawn. I know she's in the upcoming Timothée Chalamet movie. She's apparently going to be a big breakout star. Hamilton doesn't really count. They're putting that back. They're putting that in theaters, which they were originally going to do before pandemic, and they went straight to Disney Plus with that. Threesome, which has our girl Zoe Deutsch in that one. And Conjuring: The Last Rites. Those are our releases for the 5th that I have.
The only thing I have, and that's because I think it's already got theater theatrical release. Lewis is just going to put on Apple TV, which is Denzel's and Spike Lee's highest to lowest. That'll get released on Apple TV, but I think it's already in theaters now. Yeah, for me, in terms of excitement level, there's 3 movies here that I'm excited to see. I did not like the last Conjuring movie. I really disliked the last one. This one, though, granted, it's trailers. This one looks intriguing. This one looks like it could be really good. But then again, the third one looked intriguing, and it, disappointed me greatly. But I'm always going to check them out. I know you're not the biggest fan of the Conjuring verse, so it's not really going to.
I don't love the Conjuring movies. The last one actually was the one that I probably was the most interested in. So we're kind of reversed.
I thought I was the least interested in that one. And that one annoyed me to no end while watching it. But yeah, I'm actually intrigued by Conjuring Last Rites. I think it looks really good, and I'm excited to see that one. Twinless, I'm actually really excited for. I saw the trailer for it. Dylan O'Brien's one of my boys. He's one of the ones that I, once again, want to see do big, great things. I remember watching the trailer, and the first half of it, I was like, okay. And then the second half, I was like, ooh, there's some mystery going on here. I'm intrigued to see where this is going to go. And it's one of those that I feel it's going to be like those indie movies. It's, even though it's getting a wide release, it's not going to be a super wide. So I feel like most people are probably not going to watch it, but I'm definitely intrigued by it because of Dylan O'Brien. And then, of course, the threesome because of Zoe Deutsch. I obviously want to check that one out. That one looks like it could be fun. So those are definitely the 3 that stick out to me. And like I said, I love Hamilton, but I'm not going to go see it in theaters. I don't need to sit there and have people try to.
I might catch at some point. I don't really care about the Conjuring universe though. Threesome I will see just for Zoe. It looks like more of a drama, so I'm not sure if I'm gonna, love that one as much. Because I wish she'd go back to making fun movies. She's got this, and then she's got like this black and white French new wave type movie coming out later. We'll talk about that later. I just want her to make fun movies again. But I'll see it just because she's in it. Pools, actually, I'm intrigued about. I saw a trailer for that, and actually looks like it might be interesting. It's kind of a dramedy, but that looks kind of interesting.
There was one else that you left out that I have one.
What's
for. The Cut. Saw a trailer for that about a week or so back.
It's got Orlando right. Like a weight cut, right? Yeah.
Orlando Bloom, John Turturro. Basically, Orlando Bloom is a boxer, and he has to cut, I think it was like 15 pounds or more before this fight. So it's not more about the fight; it's more about the journey to have him cut this weight. So it's like a psychological kind of thing. And Orlando Bloom is definitely an actor that I've enjoyed. That kind of like Josh Hartnett, he kind of went away, and I want to see him kind of come back. And he was great in Deep Cover, where he was just kind of letting it go. And this one actually looks like something that could really make Orlando Bloom stand out a little bit more. So that's another one that I'm intrigued by. I don't know if I'm going to like the movie, but I was intrigued enough by the trailer to want to check this one out.
Yeah, I did just see the trailer for that last week. It looks, I don't know if I'll rush out and see it, but I'll watch it eventually, probably at home.
Yeah.
The next week, September 12th, we have Downton Abbey.
Yeah, it's Downton Abbey, the grand finale.
my thing auto-corrected to Downtown. So I'm like, wait, is that a different movie? There's a movie called Steve. There's The Long Walk. There's the Spinal Tap sequel, and there's a movie called Code 3. I have to look up and remember what a couple of these movies are. Okay, Code 3. Oh yeah, this is Rainn Wilson, Lil Rel Howery, and some other people. It's in its final 24-hour shift, a burned out paramedic is tasked. The training is eager but inexperienced replacement. Turns into chaotic night. Blah 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 blah. This actually I saw the trailer for it and it actually intrigues me. This one I kind of doubt it's going to. I'm not even sure if it's going to theaters. This might be like a.
It's bold on my release schedule. It's bold, like it is going to be, but I'm not. I was like, I have not heard a.
Yeah, this feels like it's maybe like New York, LA, and then digital release, something like that. But I'm intrigued. I want to check that one out. Downton Abbey, don't care about. The Long Walk is probably the one this week I'm most interested in. This one just looks great. You have a great young cast assembled. You have Mark Hamill playing a nice gritty villain kind of role too, which he likes to see to do once in a while. It's a Stephen King story, which means the ending's probably going to suck, but that's Stephen King for you. But it still is. It's a great premise. It's a great idea for it. The trailers have really sold me on it. So I'm really excited to see this one.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat. Code 3, like I said, never heard about it. I guess I'll watch the trailer after this and decide from there. Long Walk is definitely the one I'm most intrigued about. Trailer wise, it's hooked me. It's definitely I got the hiccups. Sorry guys. It's definitely the one that I'm most intrigued by. I never saw This Is Spinal Tap, so this Spinal Tap 2 is not really gonna do anything for me there. The only other thing that I see, there's The History of Sound, which is Paul Mescal and Josh O'Connor.
Stop trying to make Paul Mescal happen.
Yeah, I'm not intrigued by this one at all. Then there's also The Man in the Basement, which has got Willem Dafoe and Corey Hawkins, two people that I like. Don't know enough about it to gauge whether it's going to be something I'm going to be into. But I know it's going to be released on streaming for Hulu later in the year, so I don't even know if this is really going to get a real big theatrical release. But apparently it's a paranoia horror type film. But like I said, with Corey Hawkins and Willem Dafoe, that's definitely something that I'll check out eventually. I don't know how soon it'll be, but it's definitely something that I will pay attention to at some point. And yeah, outside of that, that's pretty much it. So yeah, for me, Long Walk seems to really be the only thing.
Yeah, Long Walk's the big one. I'm gonna check out Code 3 at some point. Spinal Tap, I love the original Spinal Tap. They act like this is like the sequel. This is the Return of Spinal Tap. They've done that twice before. In the 90s, they did Return of Spinal Tap. I mean, not in theaters, but they did like I think it's a TV thing, which then came onto video. And then again, somewhere in the 2000s, they did some kind of a Spinal Tap reunion thing. But this one's is the first official, actual sequel film to it. So I was kind of looking forward to it until I saw the trailer, and there's nothing funny in that trailer. So I'm going to check it out, but I'm going in with very, very low expectations on Spinal Tap. And I just want to say that Steve, the one I listed, it's a Netflix movie starring Cillian Murphy as a head teacher at a reform school who struggles to keep his students in line while dealing with his mental health. So that sounds like something I will skip.
I saw the trailer for Steve, and I checked out halfway through it, which it looks like it's actually getting the theatrical release the following week, or maybe mass release, because I'm seeing it for September 19th.
Yeah, I think it's a limited. Well, no, because Steve's a Netflix movie, so maybe it's getting a limited release on this date and then going to Netflix on the following week or something.
Possibly. But yeah,
you know what it is? They're probably, because Netflix doesn't do theatrical releases, as we've gone into, except for special things. I think this is one of those where it's probably going to be like New York, LA for Oscar consideration for Cillian Murphy, and then it's just going to drop on Netflix.
But yeah, I watched the trailer. It did nothing for me. I was like, oh well, I clicked on it because I saw Cillian Murphy, and that's like, yeah, this is not enough to make me want to watch this. But yeah, going to September 19th, we've got what I've got anyway on my list. I've got Big Bold Beautiful Journey, which is Colin Farrell and Margot Robbie. Him with Marlon Wayans, it's not Jordan Peele, but it's Jordan Peele produced.
Mm-hmm.
We also got Adulthood, which I saw a trailer for with Josh Gad and what's her name?
Kaya Scodelario.
Yeah, which that looked like a kind of like dark comedy kind of movie. It could be intriguing. Lost Bus, which is going to be an Apple TV, but it's getting a theatrical release with Matthew McConaughey and America Ferrera. That one looked intriguing for me. Then you also got, going down the list here. Like I said, there's Steve. Swiped, which is going to be released on Hulu with Lily James. It's kind of supposed to be like the creation of Tinder, or no, like the creation of Tinder, but then also like the creation of Bumble, the dating apps, which I might check it out because I like Lily James, but I really don't give a crap about how Tinder and Bumble became a thing. Do you have anything else for the 19th?
No, I have all the same movies you had. For me, him, I'm gonna check out. I don't know what to expect from that movie because it's got that Jordan Peele kind of feel to it, but like I said, it's not directed by him. But it's intriguing at least enough to check out. Swiped, I'm going to watch. I think that's Hulu, right? Yeah, it's Hulu. I'm going to check out solely because Lily James and Dan Stevens. I could care less about the story.
Oh yeah, I forgot Dan Stevens is in it. Yeah, Dan
but
Stevens.
I mean, these behind the scenes stories before we've talked about with like everything from Tetris to Air to Blackberry, all these movies. It's like they tend to make them interesting, especially if they get a good cast. So at least based on those two, I'll check it out. Big Bold Beautiful Journey. I don't really care about that movie at all. Adulthood actually looks fun. That's actually one will probably check out at home at some point.
Yeah, for me, I watched the trailer for Big Bold Beautiful Journey. It looked intriguing. Not enough for me to want to go see it in theaters, mind you, but enough for when it does come out on digital that I'm willing to give it a shot because I love Colin Farrell and I love Margot Robbie. And this just kind of looks unique enough to pique my interest, but just not enough to go, to see it in theaters. Him, definitely, I'm intrigued by that. Obviously, I'm a big, football guy, so I definitely want to see that. And like I'm intrigued by what we've seen in the trailers, and Jordan Peele knows how to hook people to make you be intrigued by it, and that's definitely one that I want to check out. Adulthood, it might be one of those that I'm like, yeah, I'll check it out, and then it just ends up sitting on my watch list forever, and then I end up not checking it out unless Brian tells me something that's like, oh yeah, that was actually really great. Then maybe I'll gravitate towards it, but it could be one of those that I say, yeah, I'll watch, and then I never
Well, I thought
do.
the trailer looked funny, but I think what also will sell you on it is Anthony Carrigan's in it. I know you really like Anthony Carrigan.
Yes, I do.
Billy Lord's in it along with the main two leads. Also appearing in it, and the director of it, I didn't even realize, is Alex Winter of Bill and Ted fame.
So you're gonna watch this because
which for the most part, I mean, he was like freaked way back in like the 90s, and then he's done some documentaries which apparently have been like really well respected and well reviewed. But this is, as far as I know, his first like comedic or feature film in quite a while. So I'll check it out for that.
Lost Bus, I'll probably wait for it to pop on Apple, but I definitely think that looks really good. I feel like we haven't seen Matthew McConaughey in a while, but I know we have. I just feel like we've been a little bit away from Matthew McConaughey. And this is definitely a drama. It's a lost school bus. With he's the bus driver, and it's during like one of those like California wildfires kind of things. So I'm definitely intrigued by that story. I thought that was very good. And Swiped, like I said, I'll probably end up checking it out because, like you said, we felt this way about Blackberry, Tetris, and Air. We both ended up liking all three of them. So there's a chance that we'll end up liking this too because of Dan Stevens and Lily James. But yeah, to me, him is definitely the main movie watch for me that weekend. Anything else for that? Look at you looking something up.
No, I was just looking to see what the last thing Matthew McConaughey did, and really there was in 2019 he did The Gentleman and Serenity, a voice role in Sing 2, a voice cameo in Deadpool and Wolverine. So he really hasn't done anything in like 6 years at this point. So it has been a while.
I knew he hadn't done anything. I was like, I feel like I haven't seen him in forever.
He earned a vacation. Why not? He was too busy doing commercials for whatever that car company is.
Yeah, that's why I feel like he's been around because he's been doing the whole commercial stuff. But yeah.
For the 26th, then, I have 3 movies on my list. I have Strangers Chapter 2, which never even saw Strangers Chapter 1 because I heard nothing but bad things about it.
It's fucking garbage.
I have Dead of Winter, which is a thriller starring Emma Thompson. It's another one I'm not sure if that's going to actually make the theaters around me or not. And then there's the Paul Thomas Anderson, maybe the worst Anderson. Yeah, I said it. One Battle After Another, starring Leonardo DiCaprio. Which actually, I mean, at least looks like this one is at least intriguing to me. I'll check it out, but I'm not big on Paul Thomas Anderson movies usually. So
I'm not big on Paul Thomas Anderson movies either, but because it's got Leo, I'm intrigued. I saw the trailer and I really wasn't like zoned in on it. I was kind of like, I'm watching it, but I was also like easily getting distracted by everything else around me, and I was like, did I pay attention to that trailer at all? Like, I don't know, but I'll at least check it out for Leo. Leo has earned enough respect from me that I'm willing to give something a watch for him, even though I did not watch Killers of the Flower Moon, and that wasn't because of Leo. That was just because of everything else. I just was not ever in the mood to watch that. But for the most part, Leo has enough clout for me now that I will check out mostly everything he does. Strangers Chapter 2, fuck off. I'm not putting myself through that shit again. There are two that you didn't mention. One is Eleanor the Great. Not that I have any intent on watching this, but I have heard some huge things out of the festivals for that, but I probably will not check that out. Another one is, looks like it's getting a theatrical and Apple TV same day release, and that's All of You. And that's got Imogen Poots and my boy Brett Goldstein from Ted Lasso. It looks like it's R-rated. Trying to see what the actual concept of it is. Brett Goldstein and Imogen Poots star in a stirring, near-futuristic romance as best friends who harbor an unspoken love for one another, even after a test matches one of them up with their blank blank supposed soulmate. Sounds like a Black Mirror episode. I'm pretty sure there was a Black Mirror episode around this where it's like, they're not your soulmate, keep moving on. I 100% remember that episode now because I watched all Black Mirror last year. But it's got Brett Goldstein, who I love. It's got Imogen Poots, who I'm pretty solid with in terms of an actress. So I definitely will probably be checking that one out. I have not seen a trailer for it yet, so I can't really give much more than that. But yeah, September as a whole, September's always been a weak month. I think Conjuring and Him is probably going to dominate that month. Unless a big, bold, beautiful journey surprises a lot of people, it's probably not going to do much. Maybe Downton Abbey will for the Downton Abbey fans, but it feels like it's pretty much going to be Conjuring and Him that are going to ride the box office that month. Anything else for September before we jump to October?
That's all I got for September.
All right. They just dropped a trailer for this today. I have not watched it yet. But October 1st on Prime, we've got Play Dirty with Mark Wahlberg and Lakeith Stanfield. I know nothing about this. Do you?
Yes, this is a movie that I knew was coming out. It was being made. I did not know it was coming out this year. Definitely didn't know it was coming out October 1st. They just dropped the trailer and stuff. It's for Amazon Prime. This is based on the Donald Westcott, I think the author's name is, a series of Parker novels, which have been done many times. Like there's a couple in the 60s and 70s. Payback, 1999, with Mel Gibson was the same character. Parker, the movie Parker, starring Jason Statham, came out in like the 2010s, like the 2000s. That was the same character based on the same novels. This is a new iteration. This one is directed and written by Shane Black. And the trailer makes sure
already locked
Kiss
the
Bang
fuck
Bang.
in.
It's Kiss Bang Bang, director of Nice Guys, and this is his wheelhouse. That kind of crime with some comedy in there. It's perfect for him. And this was originally going to star Robert Downey Jr., in which I was really excited to reunite them again, because after Kiss Bang Bang, I'm like, and plus his work on Iron Man 3, they both get each other's style of comedy and dialogue and the snappiness, and so it's perfect. But then Robert Downey Jr. dropped out for whatever reason. Shane Black still did the movie. Now it's starring Mark Wahlberg. It's a step down for me. The trailer, however, it seems like they must have adapted it, because I can't see Robert Downey Jr. doing the same kind of role, because this one seems like there's a little more action to it, and it's not like superhero Iron Man action. It's more like Mark Wahlberg kind of fist fight kind of action to it. It stars Mark Wahlberg and Lakeith Stanfield. The trailer looked intriguing. It looked enjoyable. Did it look kind of like a straight to Amazon Prime movie? Yeah, it kind of did.
But Prime's been killing it lately.
But Prime has been killing it lately. And then on top of that, like I said, you have Shane Black directing, and he wrote it. Now it's based on a story, another story, but he wrote the script by himself. And when he does his own material like this, he's not coming in as a director for hire on something like Predator, something like Iron Man 3. I think he does his best work when he's doing his own, writing his own script, directing his own script, like he did in Kiss Kiss Bang Bang and The Nice Guys, which are two of my favorite comedies. So although I'm not hugely excited about Mark Wahlberg in the lead, It looks fun, and it's probably one of my top 5 most anticipated movies of the year, and I didn't even know it was coming out this year until like 6 hours ago. Not even 6 hours ago.
Yeah, I still need to watch the trailer for it. I saw it pop up and I immediately hit watch later on my YouTube. Mark Wahlberg, I can take him or leave him. I can
Yeah,
be
I can
super
usually leave
hot
it.
on Wahlberg or extremely cold on him, depending on it's a movie to movie basis with him. I mean, he can do something like The Departed and the other guys, and then he can also do like fucking Father Stew
Well,
or
that's just the last couple of years. It's like he seems like he's either doing like this real like inspirational kind of family type movies like Father Stew or the one with the dog and things like that, or he's doing these other movies where he's doing for a paycheck, but it just seems like he's sleepwalking his way through them. So I'm hoping this time like Shane Black gets the best out of it.
yeah, and of course I love Lakeith Stanfield. So I
Yes.
think him with Shane Black writing, I'm intrigued to see what that is.
And Rosa
'Cause,
Salazar's in there too. I like her. So
yeah, I like Rosa Salazar as well. So I'll have to watch that trailer later. But that's the only thing coming out on the 1st. So it's definitely something that we'll both check out. October 3rd, I've got a few things. Wide release wise, there's only really one that I see. I mean, they're re-releasing Avatar probably before the third one comes out. The second Avatar, I mean. Casper, for some reason, is getting a re-release. Fucking why? But in terms of new stuff,
anniversary, they're putting random shit in theaters.
yeah, it apparently everything gets a re-release for an anniversary, even if the movies are just average movies like Casper. I don't remember being that, and I was the right age group for that. I don't fucking care. The Smashing Machine is probably the biggest movie that's getting released that day. That is one of my most anticipated films of the year. I'll touch more on it once we get through to talk about it. Good Boy. That's a trailer I just recently watched. That comes out in theaters. Probably not mass. Probably just more of an indie.
They did expand it. It was going to get a small release, and the theater got apparently a lot of good reaction, so they expanded it to a wider release. So you might.
I just don't know if I'll get that in my area. So it might be something I might just have to wait on digital for. Lost Bus and Steve both get their streaming releases on Apple TV and Netflix, and that's all I've got for me. Unless you got anything else.
I got 3 others. I got Bone Lake, which is basically 2 couples. It kind of starts out like Barbarian. 2 couples supposedly reserved the same like Airbnb of this lake, and of course, and they decide to both stay there. And I think it starts off where they start kind of like getting together, and then it turns into like a horror thriller. I don't know much beyond that about the movie, but it looks intriguing. I'll check it out.
Is there any names in it?
I just had it right here. Bone Lake. No. I honestly don't recognize a single name. That maybe if I saw faces, nope, don't recognize anybody in it. But it looks intriguing. Coyotes, which is a movie. It's got Justin Long and Kate Bosworth, and then a bunch of people I haven't heard of. It's basically a couple's trapped in their house. There's like wildfires in California, so they're trapped in like this rich house, but they can't leave because there's coyotes outside that are going to make them. So it's just kind of a nature thriller, I guess, kind of thing, a survival. And then the last one is Shelby Oaks, which is a horror film like made by YouTube movie reviewer, critic, whatever, Chris Stuckman, who, in my opinion, most people who have like, podcasts or shows tend to be, wannabe failed filmmakers. So this doesn't surprise me. He's trying to be a filmmaker. I'm not excited about it, but some people are. But that's all I have in addition to what you already said. I am curious about Good Boy. I'm not sure. It looks kind of could go either way.
It's
But
using a new, not technique, but it's definitely doing it in a different, unique way from the perspective of the dog.
The funny thing is, I'm watching this trailer, and the whole time, man, you better not kill the dog. You better not hurt that dog. Don't hurt the dog.
Well, see, here's my thing about it. It's like, oh, it's supposed to be all from the perspective of the dog. But the problem is if it's from the perspective of the dog, then the dog shouldn't be on camera. It should be through the eyes of the fucking dog. Kind of like Presence was like, it's through the perspective of the ghost or entity that's in the house. So naturally, it's just the camera following through everything. Good Boy should be like that. I'm okay that it's not, but it's like if it's from the perspective of the dog, shouldn't it be through the eyes of the dog then?
Well, I think it's not first person from the dog. It's just like following him around, telling his version of the story of like, oh, he's trying to protect this family.
From the perspective of the dog, then we're just going to see a lot of ball licking and butt sniffing at that point. That's
I don't want to see that close up on a 60-foot screen. Thank you.
No, I mean we saw that in Fixed, the animation film that came out a couple weeks ago, so we don't need to see it again. But yeah, Good Boys is intriguing. Like I said, I don't know if it's gonna just be one of those that's like, oh, the concept is what drove me. Is the story going to continue that? I don't know. But like you said, you've heard good things to the point where they're going to mass release it.
Well, they made it a wider release than originally planned. I don't know if it's how wide that means, but they did expand the release based on the reception of the trailer.
Gotcha.
But yeah, the big one for this week, I think, is at least the most interesting, is going to be Smashing Machine, which is, of course, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson starring as I forget the guy's name, a UFC fighter. But it's kind of like his story. As co-stars Emily Blunt. This is kind of The Rock's, first straight drama in quite a while. It's not an action movie. I mean, it's sports action, of course, but not like an action film. It's not like, part comedy. It's not drama. It's like a straight drama biography. So, and he's got a whole physical transformation to do with makeup to make him try to look more like the real fighter. Thank you. So I'm curious. I mean, this one could be good. It could be a flop. I don't know.
I'm not the biggest fan of the Safdie brothers. I think Uncut Gems is migraine. It's just a migraine movie, and of course it's A24, which means Brian's gonna not like it already. But
there are some.
But I will champion The Rock in any way possible, and if he wants to become a more serious actor, and he kind of wants to do kind of Mickey Rourke-esque in The Wrestler kind of performance, I'm down to see this. Of course, Emily Blunt, we love her. So her having more of a dramatic role with this, I'm for. I'm also really, really intrigued to see Ryan Bader. Ryan Bader's an actual UFC fighter, and he's basically playing his best friend. Oh God, I can't remember what UFC fighter he's portraying. Oh man, I'm blanking hard. I'm trying to look it up super fast, but he's playing an actual UFC fighter, and he is a UFC fighter. He's just not playing Ryan Bader.
Yeah, there's a lot of mixed martial arts people in here. Bass Rutten's in here as well, and a few others, probably more like recurring characters. But Ryan Bader's playing like a main role.
Yeah, Mark Coleman. I don't, and I watched UFC when it first started. I don't remember Mark Kerr, but I know Mark Coleman. So I'm intrigued to see if Ryan Bader can actually act. But this is all for The Rock. I have to see how he does with this role. I'm intrigued immensely to see this movie. This is one of my more anticipated films of the year, hands down. I want this to do well. I do not want this one to fail. I want to see Rock. Everyone goes, oh, The Rock just does the same shit over and over and over again. He does the same shit because it gives him a fucking paycheck, but I want to show like he's like Batista, where he has the ability to do these roles, but he just, he knows what people like. But he can do these. It's no different than Jim Carrey. Like, Jim Carrey can do drama. Adam Sandler can do drama. They just like to do comedy, and I can understand that. But when they come out with these ones, Ryan Reynolds can do drama too. He just doesn't. I want to see what The Rock can do here, and I'm super intrigued by it. Going to October 10th, what do you got?
I've got quite a list here. I have from you have Daniel Day-Lewis coming out of retirement to star in his son's film Anemone. Haven't watched the trailer, don't really care to, so I don't know anything about it. Kiss of a Spider Woman, which is a musical starring Jennifer Lopez. I got Roof Man, comedy with Channing Tatum and Kirsten Dunst. You have Tron Ares, which is what it is. Vicious is coming on Paramount Plus, which is a Dakota Fanning, I think like a horror movie. I don't know much about that. I do know it was originally going to get a theatrical release, but then they moved it to Paramount Plus. I don't know what that says about it. And then Soul on Fire, which I don't remember what it is. It's a biography with William H. Macy. After surviving an accident, a young boy ends up relying on his family, his faith, his community, and his fight for survival. Oh, yeah. So I don't really care about that one either. So that's all I have. Oh, wait. No, I have one more. There's one called If I Had Legs, I Would Kick You, which I don't know anything about this film.
I saw the trailer. It's got our girl Rose Byrne. It honestly just looks like a miserable fucking film where they just really.
Kind of what I guess. I like Rose Byrne, but I don't know if I want to watch this if it's gonna be that kind of movie.
I honestly, unless she gets Oscar nominations for it at the end of the year, I'll check it out. But it just looks like one of those movies where like the whole world is just shit for her, and she just can't get out of it, and it just looks like a depressing motherfucking film. And I am like, I love you, Rose, but I don't feel like I want to watch you just look like you're just like on the end of your rope for however long this movie's gonna fucking be. So yeah, I love you, but I'm probably not, unless you get Oscar nods at the end of the year, I'm probably not gonna watch this movie.
Yeah, I'd
There
say
were a
on,
few
on this
others.
list. Oh, do you have anything that I didn't have?
There's a few others, and I might repeat myself because I was looking up something when you were going over the list, so I didn't hear everything out of my ear. There's a movie called A House of Dynamite. Did you say that?
No.
It's got people we like in it. It says centered on White House staffers grappling with an impending missile strike on America. This gripping drama unfolds in real time as tension escalates. Catherine Bigelow is the director, and it stars Rebecca Ferguson, Idris Elba, and Willa Fitzgerald. Drama thriller. I don't know if this is going to get an actual release date on that day because it's one of those. It's like this should be this. We should have had a trailer for this already, right? Like this seems like a kind of a bigger movie. Like why?
So
Why isn't this
limited theatrical release in the UK on October 3rd, in the United States on October 10th, before streaming globally on Netflix on October 24th.
Okay, so it's going to be a Netflix one. Okay, so
this it's a Netflix movie, but they're putting it in like super limited, probably like again New York, LA only for like Oscar consideration. But
so
yeah,
that's why we don't know anything
I've
about
never
it.
heard of this movie.
Yeah,
but
that's why I don't know
Idris
anything about
Elba,
it.
Rebecca Ferguson, Anthony Ramos, Jason Clarke, Caitlin Dever. I'm like, this is a great cast, top to bottom. So I'm sold.
Yeah,
and Catherine Bigelow directing it. I've never even heard of this movie being made, much less that it's coming out in 2 months.
And like we said, guys, there's certain movies we just don't fucking. I clicked on it because of the poster.
It's also not our fault because like Netflix especially does things like this. Like they'll does nothing, all of a sudden like a week before it comes out, it goes, hey, this movie's coming out. Like what?
Case in point, there's another Netflix movie that comes out that day that I think the trailer just dropped today for. Have not watched it. Called The Woman in Cabin 10 with Keira Knightley. Is it Keira Knightley? I think it's Keira Knightley. And I think it's Keira Knightley. And Hannah Waddingham, who I love, Guy Pearce. And it looks like it's another one of those, like The Woman in Apartment, blah, 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 or The Woman Across the Train. But a traveling writer stumbles upon a gruesome secret while traveling aboard a luxury cruise ship. But it's got those people in it. It's going to be on Netflix. Like I said, I like the 3 leads, so it might be something I consider. But like I haven't watched like any of the women ones when it was like Amy Adams and I think Emily Blunt was in the other one. I didn't even watch that, so I don't know.
They're all kind of the same.
Yeah. So I was like, okay. I was gonna bring up If I Had a Legs, I'd Kick You, but you brought that up. After the Hunt, did you bring that one up?
I had that one listed for the 17th, but it could be like a limited expansion thing.
I remember watching the trailer, but I don't remember anything about it. But it's got a great cast.
This is Andrew Garfield and Julia Roberts. Andrew Garfield gets accused of like some kind of sexual impropriety with one of his students, and how. And
that's
how
right. That's right. I remember, and it's got Io Debris. I can't remember.
Yeah, she's the student that accused him of that.
Yeah, which I love her from The Bear. She's another thing too that I love. It's another one of those Luca. How to say his name? Yeah. Not a big fan of his movies, but I did love Challengers, so I do kind of give him a little bit of the. All right, let's see what he does. But yeah, this has got a strong enough of a cast that I'd check it out. There's one that you did not say. I'm sure this is going to be garbage, but the poster hooked me, called Death Stalker.
Oh, it's a remake of an 80s film, which I just found out was coming out. It's actually partially produced by Slash from Guns N' Roses, by the way.
Like I have not watched Death Sonia yet, but Death Sonia's trailer intrigued me. This one,
Red Sonja.
Daniel Bernhardt, isn't that the guy who always does all the John Wick?
Daniel Bernhardt is one of the main guys in 87 North with Chad Stahelski and David Leitch. He's one of the guys like he plays like the top henchman in like all their movies. Yeah.
And so he's the lead in it. So I kind of want to check it out just for that alone.
So yeah, it's coming out, but I didn't have a date on it. So I'm glad to hear that I did not realize it's coming out this early. Cool.
But yeah, that I saw the poster. I was like, this is like a fucking like Conan the Barbarian shit.
It's like if you look at the old 80s one, it's not worth watching. It's one of those like, super low budget, no big names in it. It's kind of a just cheesy sword and sorcerer kind of movie. But I'm curious to see with Daniel Bernhardt and some of these people. I'm curious to see what it can be.
Yeah. So, and then now going back to the ones you said, I mean, Tron's probably the biggest movie that's going to come out that week. Kiss of a Spider Woman. I mean, it's J Lo, so I mean, I
Check it
trust
out because
it.
I like musicals, but the trailer does nothing for me.
Why do I feel like this is like almost like another Amelia Perez situation?
It definitely has that kind of feel to it. It's like the music is not, and it's also telling this story. It's like because the story is like these two guys in prison, and it's like it's kind of dreary, and I'm not sure what it's going to be.
Yeah,
I've never seen there was the original. I think it was a play first. Then they made a movie of it, which had like Oscar nominations. I think with like Raul Julia and I want to say maybe William Hurt. I'm not sure about that though, but I've never seen that, and so I'll see it just because it's a musical, but I have low expectations.
yeah, I'm not really gonna rush to theaters to see that. Daniel Day Lewis, I don't care about. I've never been a huge. I appreciate his acting ability. I just never really, outside of Gangs of New York, I've never really been a big Daniel Day Lewis guy. Roofman looks fun. Roofman looks fun. And like I said, Channing Tatum in this, it look Kirsten Dunst, I could care less for. But Juno Temple, Ted Lasso, big fan of her. Lakeith Stanfield, Ben Mendelsohn, Peter Dinklage, all Lily Collins, all these people, Uzo Aduba from Orange is the New Black. These are all people I like. So Roofman is definitely one that I am intrigued by. It looks like it could be interesting. Um, Anything you want to add before we go to Tron?
Um, no, nothing to add there. It's Tron looks really cool, and I like the idea of bringing the the programs into our real world instead of going because we've gone from the real world into the computer world twice now. So I like the idea of them coming out into the real world. Um, Honestly, the biggest drawback for not just for me, but I think for the audiences in general is gonna be Jared Leto. Jared Leto's not been a hit with people in really anything
Anything?
he's done. And it's like, I don't really dislike the guy. I think he's fine in the right roles. But any movies where he's like the star of the movie, I've found him to be not, I've not found myself liking those performances or those movies so much. I don't hate them like Morbius as much as some people, but to have him starring in this when his last big starring role was Morbius, I don't think it's going to help the movie. I'll put it that way. But I think it looks like it could still be a good movie, though.
He just always comes off as such a tool.
Yeah.
So, and that's on camera and off camera. He just always comes off as a tool. And he will always be the worst fucking Joker. But yes, it looks amazing. But Trons always look amazing. So that's not anything out of the realm. So visually, I want to see it. Story-wise, the trailer didn't do anything for me. Like, other than like, ooh, this looks pretty, it didn't do anything going, I really must see this weekend kind of thing. I mean, it's something that I'm definitely going to check out. But if I have to choose between Tron or Roofman, I'm probably going to check out Roofman. Just because that looks at least fun. Tron, I'm afraid. Here's my worry. I'm afraid that Tron's going to be like Matrix Reloaded. It's going to look amazing. It's going to have some good action, but then it's going to kind of be up its own ass with its dialogue and its like mythology. I just feel it. I don't know why. I just feel like it's going to be like, oh God, get over yourself. Like, just be fun. All you got to do, just be beautiful and fun. I don't need this whole deep cut mythology of Tron and all this bullshit. I don't need it. Just be fun and enjoyable. And I just don't see that with Jared Leto.
Don't try to de-age Jeff Bridges again.
I mean, he's in it, so
but let him just be Jeff Bridges. Don't try to. The de-aging. I mean, this was 2011. It wasn't there yet. It's like it did not work.
So I'm not all that excited about Tron Ares. It just always felt that like that movie that like they talked about coming up was never actually to come out. Now it's like, oh no, here it is, and it's like, yay, okay.
Yeah.
And this is from someone who actually did like Tron Legacy.
And we don't get Daft Punk with the soundtrack again. But we do have 9 Inch Nails. So
yeah, or Olivia Wilde. So, I see stuff released on the 15th, but I don't know if it's anything important.
those are nothing. Yeah.
Okay, so the 17th, yes, there's After the Hunt expanded. Black Phone 2, which I know Brian has no interest in seeing, but I definitely want to check that out. Good Fortune, which Keanu Reeves comedy, that looks fun. Pets on a Train, that's your cash grab animated film for some people. The Wilderness, don't know what that is. Frankenstein, theatrical release for Netflix is Frankenstein. Obviously, that's going to be released on Netflix later. And that's all I've got. Do you have anything else?
No, because some of those smaller ones I didn't bother listing. I have After the Hunt, Black Phone, Frankenstein, and Good Fortune. Frankenstein, I'll see. Jacob Elordi is the latest person they're trying to shove down our throats. I don't care about him, but I like Christoph Waltz. I don't like Mia Goth at all, but I like Oscar Isaac. So this cast is very hit and miss for me. Every other person I like. Guillermo del Toro, he's fine. I don't love him. I don't dislike him. He's just kind of there. But Good Fortune, it's one I really want to like this. It's supposedly really funny. The trailer was okay. It didn't find it hilarious, but maybe it's one of those movies they can't show all the funniest stuff, or maybe they're just not showing the funniest stuff, which is a good thing for a comedy. But that's probably the one that week that I'm most excited for.
Yeah, Good Fortune. Anytime Keanu can just be kind of like a comedy, but he's more of aloof because he's an angel, he just doesn't get it. That shit is just gonna be funny to me. I love when Keanu does that kind of like he's the joke, but his character acts like he doesn't know it's a joke kind of thing. I love that's like I feel like that's Keanu's like wheelhouse. You know, just like his Always Be My Maybe, where he was basically playing like a hyper end version of himself. Like that was great. It was the best part of the movie for me, and I like that movie. But I'm excited for Good Fortune. I think that's gonna be a lot of fun. Oh god, I never say his fucking name right. Aziz
Ansari.
Aziz Ansari. I can kind of take him or leave him. Like Parks and Rec, he was good but annoying. And then oh god, his Netflix show, I can't remember what it's called now. It was intriguing, but it wasn't because of him. It was because of the cast around him.
Yeah, a little bit of tease goes a long way. To see him as the main character in a movie might get to be a bit much.
Yeah, but Seth Rogen's been, I've been high on Seth Rogen lately, especially after The Studio. And then, of course, like I said, Keanu and even Sandra Oh. I like Sandra Oh. So, like I said, I like the cast around it. And I think Aziz is good as a like writer director. He's just not as good as on camera as he thinks he is. Black Phone 2, I am intrigued by. I know Brian was not a fan of the first one. I really enjoyed the first one. But watching the trailer for this, it almost feels like they're making it almost like Freddy Krueger-esque. I could be way off on it, but based on how the trailer's looking like, it's looking like Mason Thames, who's from the first film, and his sister, I'm blanking on her name, but I loved her in it. They're almost like being haunted by Ethan Hawke's character from the first film. So it almost feels Freddy Krueger-esque, and I'm sorry, I'm here for it. Is Scott Derrickson still doing it?
I think so.
Is he coming back to direct it? I can't. I don't see his name on it. Yes, yeah. Follow up. Well, that's his follow up from his first film. I don't know if he's still directing. But yeah, I am definitely intrigued. I would like another trailer for it, but at the same time, I also kind of want to avoid it because I don't want to see too much. But the sequel trailer piqued me enough to be excited to say. Yeah, yes, we get it. You don't like Black Phone. Frankenstein, like you said, I like Oscar Isaacs, Guillermo del Toro. I love his monsters concepts. I'm not super crazy about his directing. And everybody else, Maya Goth, I'm okay with, and Jacob, what's his last name?
Elordi.
I only know him from TV shit, and he's fine. But yeah, just like Paul Mescal, everyone's like swooning over him. I was like, this guy's been around for a while. Why is everyone acting like he just popped up out of nowhere? Like, this guy's been around. Pretty sure he was on the Vampire Diaries. And that was how many years ago? Like, why y'all acting like this guy's not been around? He's been around for a while. Stop acting like he's the newest fucking thing. But that's all I've got for the 17th. 24th. I think I see 3. Okay, House of Dynamite Netflix release. Okay, I see that there now. Paranorman re-release. There you go, Brian. We'll probably go to that.
I don't know if I need to see that in the theater again, but
I see 5 movies but only a couple that I would even consider seeing. Obviously, Mortal Kombat 2. Regretting You with which is basically kind of like I call it a mother-daughter drama. Maybe dramedy, because there's probably some funny elements into it. Springsteen, Deliver Me from Nowhere, Bugona, which is the latest Hugo, whatever the hell his last name is. And then
I have that for the 31st though.
it might be short release then. Yeah, it expands on the 31st. Okay. And then Hida. I haven't watched the trailer for Hida, but Tessa Thompson, Nia DaCosta drama with that. I think Tessa Thompson, Imogen Poots, Tom Bateman. So I mean, some people there that we like. I don't know if I haven't seen the trailer for it yet, so I really can't say much about that. But obviously, the big 3 releases that week is going to be Springsteen, which I am not a Bruce Springsteen fan. I think his voice is annoying as shit, but I do really, really enjoy oh my god, Jeremy Allen White. I mean, I love him. I watched him when he was on Shameless and obviously The Bear, and he was great in Iron Claw as Carrie Von Erich. But I also like James Mangold and Timothy Chalamet. I did not watch the fuck came out last year.
The Bob Dylan one, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't watch the Bob Dylan one. So as much as I like Jeremy Allen White, I probably am not going to make myself watch this either. Do you have anything you want to add about Springsteen?
Springsteen, I don't really care about a biopic about him. I saw the trailer and I think that Jeremy Allen White is really miscast. I don't buy him as Bruce Springsteen at all. I don't have a problem with the guy as an actor. I don't watch a lot of stuff. I've watched The Bear. I haven't watched a lot of stuff he's been in. The best thing I've seen him in is Movie 43, honestly. He's funny.
You saw him in Iron Claw.
I did see him in Iron Claw. But I haven't seen him in nearly as much stuff as you. And I don't feel one way or the other about him. But I just don't care about this movie. And like I said, I don't, when I saw it, I was like, I didn't feel like he was Bruce Springsteen at all. But of course I felt the same way about Timothy Chalamet in Complete Unknown. He never once, because I actually saw about 3/4 of the movie. I didn't watch the whole thing, but he never once felt like Bob Dylan to me. He felt like Timothy Chalamet pretending to be Bob Dylan, just like singing the songs and stuff. But I didn't buy the casting. But so I don't know. I probably won't even see Springsteen. Regretting You actually looks kind of interesting. I mean, it's got Alison Williams, Dave Franco, McKenna Grace. It looks like, it's pretty much a straight drama, but it looks like something that might actually be good. So I'll check that out. There's a movie called Blue Moon coming out with Ethan Hawke, Margaret Qualley, Bobby Cannavale. It's directed by Richard Linklater. It doesn't look that interesting to me, though. Richard Linklater is making a lot of movies that I don't really care about lately. The other one is the French New Wave black and white Zoe Deutsch one I was talking about earlier that comes out, I think, in November. So yeah, this is kind of a week for me, except for Mortal Kombat 2, which for some reason IMDb doesn't even have listed, but it is on the release calendar for October 24th. Mortal Kombat 2 is I think looks like a shitload of fun. I enjoyed the first one. The creative fighter main character aside, because yes, that's stupid. They could have just made one of the real characters the main character. So I agree with that. Sean will go off about Goro. But I think this new one, it looks like they've embraced the best things about the first one. They, lean into the gore, lean into the fights. This one is more about the actual tournament as opposed to kind of the first movie is kind of gathering the team and, setting up the universe. So I think it looks like a lot of fun. And I also have another one listed called Dream Eater. I don't even know what that is. Let me look it up real quick.
While you're doing that, or did you already pull it up?
Oh, it's a filmmaker documents her boyfriend's violent parasomnia during their holiday remote cabin in the woods. Yeah, never mind. This looks like nothing. Next.
Regretting You, I watched the trailer for that. I actually was intrigued by it as well. I mean, you got like I said, Alison Williams, Dave Franco, Mason Thames, who's just been super high right now with How to Train Your Dragon. He's going to be in a bunch of shit now. He's kind of entered that like, okay, we're going to see Mason Thames in like fucking everything now. But it's also got other Will Fitzgerald, who I'm high on ever since Strange Darling. Clancy Brown's in it. McKenna Grace is obviously the big the big draw for me here, but it's also weird because she's like older now. So it just looks weird watching her in this because now it's like, okay, we've officially passed the teenage to like young teenager age. Where now it's like, oh, now we're gonna watch McKenna Grace like making out and like hooking up. Okay, this is gonna be weird. But McKenna Grace has always been, she's like Dakota Fanning, but I'm hoping she has a better career than Dakota Fanning because Dakota Fanning was like this phenomenal child actress, and then she grew up, and then like all of a sudden, like she just wasn't really like in the spotlight anymore, or really anything. Not saying anything special because she's still great, but she doesn't really do much anymore. She just does random shit every now and then. Whereas like McKenna Grace, I've always championed her as a great young actress, so it'd be interesting to see what she does now that she's growing into kind of more of these older young adult roles to adult roles. So I'm intrigued by that one. Definitely worth checking out for me. And then Mortal Kombat 2. Yeah, I'm not going to say what you think I'm going to say because I've already said it enough times on this channel. But I still don't know if casting Urban as Johnny Cage was still the right play. And this is coming from someone who loves Urban.
I think it's perfect.
I love him, but I feel like Johnny Cage should be younger than what Urban is. I know where they're doing. I know where they're going with it. So I get why they're doing it. But I am cautiously optimistic for Mortal Kombat 2, and I'm hoping it's a lot like how a show that we love is Twisted Metal, where it's like, okay, the first movie was just getting all the pieces there. Now, just like in Twisted Metal, the second season is the actual fucking tournament, whereas now we're like the second week's the actual fucking tournament. So I still don't know how Kano is alive and kicking in this because he's in the trailer, and
The same way Scorpion's back. There's all kinds of nether realms and things after people die. So
yeah, so it's just like, okay, they're gonna have to explain that. They better not just have Kano be there, and we're just like, okay.
it could be as simple as, you know, Shang Tsung or whoever, Quan Chi just rises them from the dead. It could be that simple.
Or Shao Kahn.
Kahn.
But yeah, I mean, obviously we loved Kano, so I'm not mad that he'll be back. It's just more like you better have an explanation for why he's back. But yeah, I mean, the trailer that we got of it, it was intriguing enough for me to go, okay, I'll go in with an open mind. As long as douchebag creative fighter is not the main character anymore, and he's just more like background. Honestly, if he got treated like
he's in it, but he's barely in the trailer, so maybe that would bode well for you.
Yeah. And the actor itself, I have no problem with the actor, especially after Cobra Kai, because he won me over in Cobra Kai because he was fucking amazing in it. But if they treated him like they did Johnny Cage in the OG films, I would not be mad. Where he like is dead in the first 5 minutes of the movie because they get ambushed. I'd be okay with that too. But yeah, I'm excited for Mortal Kombat 2. I'm excited to see what they do with it. Why don't you go ahead to the next one?
So the next week, Halloween week, traditionally very slim on releases, especially because Halloween is on Friday this year. But there are just a couple releases. One of them I haven't even watched a trailer for. It's called Anniversary, a thriller starring Diane Lane, Kyle Chandler, Zoe Deutsch, Dylan O'Brien, and McKenna Grace. The cast alone, I'll watch that movie. But I don't know much more.
Let me see if I got like a synopsis for it.
But I'm intrigued. But it looks like it'll probably get a small release if anything around here.
It's from what I see here, a provocative thriller about a very close-knit family that is torn apart as a movement known as The Change envelops the country. That's it. That's all I got.
So that's what I got. So I'll check it out based on cast alone. Begonia does its expansion, and then Nouvelle Vague, which is the one I was talking about. It stars Zoe Deutsch. It's black and white. It's harkening back to the old 60s, I guess, and early 70s, that French New Wave kind of thing, directed by Richard Linklater. I don't have any interest in this movie. I almost feel like I have to see it because of Zoe, but I'm not even sure if she's enough to get me in there because she's got this short blonde hair. I don't even like her hair in this movie, so I don't know. I don't know if I'll see this one or not. And so of the 2 Zoe movies this week, I'd go for Anniversary.
And Begonia, I didn't even watch the last Yugos one with Emma Stone. This one, I remember seeing the trailer for, and I don't remember a single fucking thing about it. But I mean, it's got Emma Stone again, Jesse Plemons, Alicia Silverstone.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I mean, unless they come out with another trailer to really hook me, I will be not going to check this out. It'll be a quiet Halloween here. If anything, we'll just be watching Halloween shit. But yeah, it definitely is not moving the needle for me. Which, anything else in October, or should we jump to November?
That's all I have for October.
All right, jump into November now. Trying to see if there's anything outside of the main one here. November 7th will be the first day there. Frankenstein, that we talked about already, that'll pop on Netflix. Trying to see outside of the main one if there's anything else for me.
There's Nuremberg, which is a drama about obviously the German trials from after World War II. It's starring Rami Malek, Russell Crowe, Michael Shannon, John Slattery. That's, I'm sure, probably like an Oscar play. But I've not watched the trailer for that yet. There's a movie called...
I mean, cast, it's solid cast. I'm looking at the cast right now. It's a solid cast.
Yeah, speaking of solid cast, there's a movie called Die My Love coming out, starring Jennifer Lawrence, Robert Pattinson, along with Lakeith Stanfield, Nick Nolte, Sissy Spacek. I heard this movie was being made a long time ago. There's been no trailers or anything. Is this I almost think it was Netflix because we haven't heard anything. It's coming out in apparently like 2 months. But yeah, I don't really know anything more about this movie. It says it's about in a remote, forgotten rural area, a mother struggles to maintain her sanity as she battles with psychosis. That little synopsis doesn't do much for me. I'm not a huge fan of the director. I mean, Lynn Ramsey is the director. Nothing I've disliked of hers, but nothing that stands out for me either. So I don't know what to think of this movie. I assume we got to get a trailer soon if it's coming out in November.
I would think so too. Same thing with Nuremberg. I figure we'll get a trailer eventually for that as well, if there's not already one.
Yeah, and then
I don't recall seeing one.
Yeah, the only other thing I have is the big one. So go ahead.
Yeah, big one obviously is Predator: Badlands. If you had gone back a couple years, another Predator movie would probably be like, okay, whatever. But then we got Prey, and then earlier this year we got Predator: Killer of Killers, which were both great. So now we're actually excited.
And honestly, even Alien Earth has increased my excitement for this because this one directly ties in because she's got the Weyland-Yutani synth. So
yeah, and Alien Earth has been great so far. We're 4 episodes in. I don't think either one of us has seen the 4th episode yet because it drops today. But Predator: Badlands, I am intrigued. The first trailer didn't do much for me, but I trust Dan Trachtenberg enough now because he's done 2 great Predator films that I'll watch anything he does when it comes to Predator. Elle Fanning, like you said, she plays like is she a synthetic in this? She's synthetic, right? Who I guess is like helping guide this young Predator through his hunt. I'm not 100% sure on. I don't know. We don't know yet. But it's a Predator film done by Dan Trachtenberg. I'm going to be watching this. This is one of my more anticipated films of the year, rest of the year.
Yeah, everything you just
want to add?
Everything you just heard.
All right.
That's all I need to know. I'm already told. So
yeah, moving on to the 14th. There's a movie called Keeper. They just released a trailer. I have not watched it yet.
It is it's a weird ass trailer because they have like the same exact dialogue being spoken by the woman and by the man. I think her husband or boyfriend or something. And like,
I mean, Tatiana Maslany is the thing that'll make me want to watch it because I love her. But the problem is Osgood Perkins. Not a fan.
Yes.
And neither one of us are fans of this director. So that right there makes me cautiously not optimistic that I'm going to enjoy that movie. Now You See Me, Now You Don't, which is the 3rd one. Is it the 3rd?
Yeah.
I haven't seen the 2nd one, which is weird because I like everyone in these movies, but for some reason, these movies just don't do much for me. Obviously, The Running Man is the big one that comes out this week. We'll touch more on that here in a little bit. There's a movie called Trap House.
It's Dave Bautista and his partner. Basically, they're like CIA agents or something, and their kids start using like their tactics and resources and stuff from their parents to like infiltrate some drug cartel. I don't know why they'd want to do that, but it sounds. I can't. The only thing I can't figure out is it like an action movie? Is it a family movie?
It
Is
says action on IMDb. It says action.
because it's all about like their kids like doing. So I'm not sure exactly the tone of the movie. I want to see a trailer for it, but based on the concept and the cast, I'm intrigued. I'll check it out.
But yeah, Bobby Cannavale, Dave Bautista, Sophia Lillis, who we liked in It and Dungeons and Dragons. So that's intriguing enough.
I want to say it's going to be at least partially a comedy because it's the same director who did What If, the movie we like with Daniel Radcliffe and Adam Driver and such. He also did, well, unfortunately, also did Stuber, 8-Bit Christmas. But he also did Future Man, which I love that show.
Hey, I liked 8-Bit. I thought 8-Bit Christmas was great. Stuber, no.
Take Me Home Tonight, Goon. This guy's made a lot of good movies. I think it's definitely got to be a comedy, but I don't know much more about it. I got to see a trailer for it.
Yeah, your Nouvelle Venu or whatever the hell it's called, that gets Netflix released, so you don't need to go see it in theaters, Ryan. You can wait till Netflix.
Yeah, I don't even know if I'll watch it there, but yeah.
Jay Kelly gets a small theatrical release for It, jumps on Netflix, which I think won't be until like Thanksgiving. That's Adam Sandler, George Clooney. I remember watching Netflix. Yeah, I remember watching the trailer for it. It's gonna be more, it looks like drama side, which like I said earlier, Adam Sandler's capable of drama. So I'm intrigued by it, but I'm not generally excited for it. Eternity, that's another one. I saw the trailer for that. I was greatly intrigued by that one. That stars Miles Teller, Elizabeth Olsen, and Callum Turner. That one basically, Eternity.
I don't even have that listed. Okay.
Yeah. The concept of it is that Miles Teller dies, and he's now kind of in the waiting room of heaven. And he's basically waiting for his wife, played by Elizabeth Olsen, to die. So that way, because you only get one eternity and you can spend it with one person. And so he's waiting for his wife to pass away. So that way he can spend his rest of his eternity with her. So he's kind of in this, like, looks like an airport waiting room, just waiting for her. And she shows up. And, oh God, I'm blanking on who. Oh, Divine Joy Randolph. She's kind of like the person in heaven that kind of like organizes everybody.
Coordinator, they have her called.
Yes. And so she shows up and Miles is like, okay, cool, let's go. And she's like, well, wait, you actually have a decision to make, to Elizabeth Olsen. Apparently Miles Teller is her second husband, because her first husband is a war veteran who died, played by Callum Turner. And she goes, you can only go with one. And so now it becomes like I love both men, but this was my first love, but I was in love and had children with Miles Teller. Who do I decide? It's very intriguing plot, and I saw the trailer for it. I liked what I saw, so I'm actually excited about that one. I don't know if it's going to get big release or not. I'm not sure, but it definitely
limited on November 14th before releasing nationwide November 26th.
Yeah, so I'm excited. I'm actually excited to see that one. That one actually looks intriguing enough for me. And then of course, like I said, back to the big names. Running Man and Now You See Me and Keeper, which like I said, we already talked about Keeper, but how do you feel about Now You See Me? Is that a franchise that you enjoy, or do you not care about it?
That's a franchise I have seen.
I've never seen the second one, so I can't really.
They're enjoyable while you watch them, but instantly forgettable. Like I just remember them being a cool concept, but then they get into this point where it's like, this isn't magic anymore. This isn't magic tricks. This is actual like fucking supernatural magic sorcery going on, because some of the things that they supposedly do in these movies, you could not pull off in real life. I don't care.
I think that was kind of what lost me too, because I was like intrigued by like, oh, they're magicians who are thieves, and then it's like they're doing something like, well, now it's just like,
and that could be a totally fun concept, but then they took it too far and they tried to make it too outlandish, and so it's like you can't believe it anymore. So you kind of roll your eyes at a lot of these movies. Now, like I said, they're not bad. I enjoy watching them, but it's like I don't even think I've watched either one of them a second time.
I maybe caught the first one a second time because it was like on TV and I just had it on. But yeah, I've never seen the second one. And like I said, I like everybody in it. I just don't care for it. And then, of course, the big one for both of us is The Running Man. Yeah. Our boy Glenn Powell, who we championed before he got big. If you guys have been following us on this channel since the beginning, we have always been a Glenn Powell fan before he became everyone's new favorite. Running Man, obviously a remake from Arnold Schwarzenegger's film in the 80s. Obviously, it's not the same kind of film, though.
Well, no, this is one of those things, kind of like I don't like Bram Stoker's Dracula and some other things have done this, where this is actually much, much, much closer to the original story. This is not a remake of the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie. It's another adaptation of the original story. And this one is a lot more accurate to that, whereas the Arnold Schwarzenegger one kind of took all kinds of liberties and changed the story. So they're both based on the same story, but it's not a remake of the movie. So that's why it looks very different. But yeah, that's easily the one, because Glenn Powell, but also, I mean, Edgar Wright. I love Edgar Wright movies. Even though he doesn't, ever since he did his Cornetto trilogy, like Scott Pilgrim, which I love, he's kind of done some things that aren't as overtly like comedic and things like that, like Last Night in Soho, and then this, which are kind of branching out into kind of different kinds of films for him. But I still think that he's a great filmmaker, and I'm looking forward to this movie.
We were both so excited for Last Night in Soho, and it's so disappointing.
I still enjoyed it. I actually just rewatched it again last week, and I still enjoy it. It's got things about it.
I have not rewatched it.
The ending, yeah.
I have not seen it since theaters, and of course, Baby Driver was fine. I don't love Baby Driver, but it was still good. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna be seeing this like instantly. Glenn Powell, Edgar Wright, Running Man, absolutely going into that one.
Well, and Josh Brolin, Katie O'Brien, Lee Pace, I was getting this two mixed up. Coleman Domingo, is in there. It's got a great cast, top to bottom.
Yeah, it's great.
Coleman's playing kind of like the Richard Dawson, the game show host, and I think he's perfect for that role.
Oh, he's going to be great. I'm excited for that. Next, we go to November 21st, and I've got 3 movies. Do you have any? Do you got?
I have 3 movies as well.
Okay. Apparently,
Sisu's getting a sequel. Road to Revenge. Yeah, Sisu Road to Revenge.
I didn't even know that was getting a sequel.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because it's I'm trying to remember who. Yeah. No, this is the first movie I enjoyed. It was kind of like, World War II John Wick. It's basically this guy kind of kicking ass on all the Nazis and stuff. But and I enjoyed it. It's not a movie that needs a sequel, and it's a movie that if it was going to get a sequel, I would have thought it would be like a straight to digital kind of thing. But it's going to theaters. This one adds Stephen Lang to the mix, so I mean that's a good thing. But I don't really know anything else about it. There's not been trailers. There's not been anything more. I'll read you the plot synopsis. A man returned to dismantle his family's house where they were murdered in war to rebuild it elsewhere. When the killer, a Red Army commander, tracks him down, a brutal cross-country pursuit begins. So basically the same as the first movie. So there you go.
I mean, I thought it was fine, but this is not something that I'm going to rush to theaters to see.
Yeah, I liked the first one, but I was a little disappointed because the trailer looked awesome, and I went and saw it, and it was fun. It's fine, but it was like didn't need a sequel. But we'll see.
Next one is Rental Family. I'm intrigued by this mainly because of Brendan Fraser. But it looks like it could either be just overtly like Oscar baity, or it could have a ton of heart. I haven't decided where I'm feeling on it yet.
Yeah, I might see this. I don't have very much interest in this movie. It's like I think the story is kind of and Brendan Fraser, I don't really like as an actor. I don't think he's that good of an actor, honestly. And he's one of those people, like of all the people that can get these like renaissances, he's not somebody I would have picked. Like, did I enjoy him back in the day of Encino Man and The Mummy? Sure. But there aren't a lot of movies that I liked, and I haven't liked much of anything he's done since maybe the first Mummy. So
he was good in Doom Patrol, but that was more him doing voice acting than that because he was in the robot the entire time.
I don't dislike the guy, and he's serviceable, but I don't. He's not a draw for me. That's all.
But yeah, I mean the plot of it, where he's a failed actor in Japan, and he basically gets hired to like be like, it's like
people basically want to rent out family. They want somebody like to be your dad or to be your best friend, like, to be whatever. Yeah,
your absentee father shows up, so you can go tell him off, and he'll play that absentee father. It's a weird concept. It's an intriguing concept, which is why I'm intrigued to check it out. And of course, the next
Japanese concept.
It is. Is that like an actual thing? So there are people out there.
I would not doubt it.
Yeah. And obviously the big film. It was one of the biggest films of the year or of the fall movie season. Wicked for Good, the final film in the Wicked story. Go back a year from now, or go back a year ago. Brian, this was like the first one was one of the most anticipated films of the year. Me, I was just like, whatever. Go a little bit further ahead. and it's reversed. Brian didn't really care for it. I fucking loved it. So now we're at this state point now we have completely swapped sides.
Yep.
I am super excited to see Wicked for Good because I love the first one. Brian is probably not even going to check it out.
Chances are I'll probably check it out, but I'm not excited. I'm kind of like, whatever. I'm not excited about this at all. No.
I am. It's probably my most anticipated film for the rest of the year.
10.
It is probably if not my most anticipated, it's definitely in my top 3. I cannot wait to see it. I hope it's just as good as the first one, which Brian's hoping it is not because he hated the first one. He didn't hate it. He just disliked it.
Well, no, what I do know about it, because I've not seen the stage musical, but what I do know about it, it's got some twists that are interesting, which I won't divulge here. But I have heard from most people that most of the good songs were in the first one. They say the second half is a lot weaker in terms of songs. There's one or two strong ones, but
it's probably a lot like It, where the part 1 is always going to be better than It part 2.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but I mean, it didn't mean that It part when they made the most recent movies, It part 2 was still good, just wasn't as good as the first one. You know, but I mean, Wicked for Good could not be as strong as the first one, but which is going to make it even worse for Brian. But for me, it could still work out for me. And then, of course, the rest of the Thanksgiving stuff, Eternity does get wide release then, so it might actually get a mass release for everybody. And then, of course, Zootopia 2, which obviously is going to be a huge fucking hit for everyone during Thanksgiving weekend. Like I said, we both enjoyed the first Zootopia for what it was. I didn't think it needed a sequel. I'll check it out at some point, but I'm probably not going to go against the Thanksgiving crowd to see it. Is that what your same feelings are for Zootopia?
I kind of feel like this will be a Disney Plus movie for me. I might, if I get bored at some point and decide to go see a movie or something, and I've seen everything else that's out, maybe I'll check it out because I got the AMC A list. But I'm not in any rush to see it. No. I'm sure it'll probably be good, but like you said, it's a movie that we just feel. Did it need a sequel?
Yeah. I feel like it's gonna be like Moana, where it's gonna be like, it's fine. It's not as good as the first one. It's just a cash grab kind of thing. We could be totally wrong. I'd love to be wrong, but I watched the first trailer and I was tuned out halfway through, so that doesn't really bode well for me. Going to December. I'm looking at. I don't know what this is. It's a Prime movie. I'm trying to see if it's anyone I know. Oh, What Fun! A Christmas comedy. Okay. Chloe Grace Moretz, Danielle Brooks, Dennis Leary, Dominic Sessa, Jason Schwartzman, Ava Longoria, Michelle Pfeiffer. I don't hate the cast. So it looks like it's a Christmas family movie, which we all know kind of how those movies go. Do you know anything about this? Obviously, there has not been a trailer yet.
No, I remember hearing the title, but I don't know anything about it. So. You say it's Netflix or Amazon?
It's Prime. Yeah, it's Prime. It comes out December 3rd.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? I do remember reading about it just because it was mostly because of the cast. Because I got Michelle Pfeiffer and all these people in it. I love the cast. It is also directed by Michael Showalter, who I know from The State. But I don't know anything much more about this. I'll check it out.
Yeah. Going to December 5th, that's where Jay Kelly gets released on Netflix. There's
actually, I saw the trailer. It looks intriguing to me and somewhat interesting, but I don't like Adam Sandler, especially when he tries to do more serious roles. Actually, I'm not sure which is worse, serious roles or his comedic roles. They're both bad. But then also it's directed by Noah Baumbach, who he does all his like mumblecore type movies where it's just like a very independent, very kind of I don't know, disjointed. I'm not a fan of his kind of stuff either, but I don't know. The trailer was interesting.
Yeah. On December 5th, there's a movie called Merrily We Roll Along. It's got Daniel Radcliffe, Jonathan Groff. It does not have a synopsis of what it is.
Well, I don't know
what it is.
I'm not sure if it's actually coming out or not. Because there was a stage musical called Merrily We Roll Along, and they were going to make this into a movie. And then, but last I heard, because it's a story. It's A Broadway composer abandons his friends and career to become a Hollywood producer, told over the course of 20 years in reverse chronological order. Now, the thing about this movie is supposedly it's directed by Richard Linklater, and supposedly he's going to do like his Boyhood thing and shoot the movie over like fucking 12 years, and so they can have like the progression of age and stuff. But my thing is, as far as I know, they've only shot a few sequences of it, and but yet it's showing up on this release list. I don't think it's actually coming out, but I can't say for sure.
If you're gonna do it over the next 12 years, Henry Radcliffe and Jonathan Groff, they look the exact fucking same.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter. They're not gonna look that old over 12 years. And then of course the other big one is Five Nights at Freddy's 2, which I didn't care for the first one. I would love to be surprised and enjoy the second one. Is it doing the same day Peacock release like I did last time, or is it just
no? This one they're doing theaters only.
Okay. Do you have any thoughts on Five Nights?
I'll see it. The first one was fine. But I have liked Josh Hutcherson in recent years. Matthew Lillard is supposedly coming back. I've liked kind of his kind of resurgence as well. McKenna Grace in another movie. Jesus Christ. So I mean, I'm going to see it, but I have low expectations. What's that?
McKenna Grace is in Five Nights?
That's what I have listed here. It's IMDb. McKenna Grace, Josh Hutcherson, Matthew Lillard. Oh, Skeet Ulrich is in it as well with Matthew Lillard.
That was a big thing they announced that they were going to team back up again. So
I hadn't heard that. That could be fun. That could be fun.
And the thing that I'm looking at, I don't see McKenna Grace on here, but like I said,
I'm going by IMDb.
Yeah, I just see basically everyone from the first movie. And
Piper, what is talking? Sorry, I don't know what that was. Something on my phone started playing. Sorry.
Thank you. So yeah, like I said, I'll probably end up seeing it because obviously, I've got people in the house that are fans of Five Nights at Freddy's, so I'll probably be checking it out. I'm just not going to be overtly excited, but the stuff that they are announcing, like Skeet and Matthew being together again, like at least intrigues me enough. I saw the first trailer. I mean, it didn't move the needle for me by any means, but they also didn't show much. It was more of a teaser than anything. So, which I'd rather have just a teaser and not show anything than an actual trailer giving away fucking everything. Next we go to December 12th. I mean, outside of the big one for me, a lot of these, I don't even know if this one is Silent Night, Deadly Night a real thing?
Yeah, it's a remake of a horror movie.
Is it anyone like name wise in this?
I'm looking it up to try to remember. Silent Night, Deadly Night, because I don't remember who's in this remake. Here we go. Yeah, it's a remake of the 80s film. There are no names I recognize or faces that look familiar. But yeah, it's just generic horror remake number 327.
The only other thing I see besides the big one is Ella McKay, which has Emma Mackey and Jamie Lee Curtis.
Rebecca Hall, your favorite.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's not really something that's pushing the needle for me. I think I watched the trailer and I was just kind of like, okay, whatever. So it's not something that I'm really probably going to gravitate towards.
What's your big one for that day? Because I don't have anything else.
I've got Wake Up Dead Man, Knives Out mystery.
Oh.
The third Knives Out apparently is supposed to be released on the 12th.
Yeah. It could be.
Which obviously is the big one for me, because I love the Knives Out movies, and I'm all for.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I was looking at IMDb, and apparently they don't list it because it's Netflix only. So yeah, okay.
But yeah, Rian Johnson and Daniel Craig are back. Cast is not as strong as the first two, but it's still a decent cast. You got Josh Brolin, Josh O'Connor, Glenn Close, Mila Kunis, Jeremy Renner, Kerry Washington, Andrew Scott, who I love, Kaylee Spaney, who Brian can't stand, Dylan McCormack, and Thomas Hayden Church. So like I said, solid cast, not as strong, I think, as the first two films. We haven't gotten a trailer for this yet, so we really don't know what the plot is. Obviously, it's going to be a murder mystery like the last two. But like I said, I am totally there for anything Knives Out. So naturally, I'm excited for this.
Yeah, same thing. I'll watch it because it's Knives Out, and I've liked the previous two movies. I like Daniel Craig as the character. The rest of the cast, giant step down from the previous two. I feel like he's like used all the good actors, so he's scraping the bottom of the barrel now. I mean, I like Josh Brolin. Jeremy Renner's okay, Kerry Washington's okay, but really a lot of these people, I don't like Andrew Scott. I don't like Haley Spaney. Josh O'Connor, take your leave. So I just feel like there's not the cast to draw me in, but based on the franchise alone, I'll watch it.
Next, December 19th, we've got the SpongeBob movie. No, thank you. And then, of course, probably the biggest box office movie of the remainder of the year, Avatar, Fire and Ash. I think Brian and I are both kind of in the same mindset when it comes to Avatar. We don't necessarily care for it, but we do enjoy the movies when they come out, but we're not like head over moon about this franchise. We both think that James Cameron could be doing other things, other great things, except for
so many
Avatar.
other great movies you could have made in the last 20, 30 years. Jesus Christ.
Exactly. I'm sure it will be a spectacle. I'm sure it'll look amazing. And I'm sure that we'll both be like, yeah, it was good. And that'll be it. And then we probably will never watch. I still haven't watched Way of Water, I think, since it came out. I remember enjoying it for what it was. But I have not watched it since. I'm sure Fire and Ash is going to be the same way. And I'm sure it's going to probably make $1 billion unless everyone decided to just not care about Avatar anymore. But I think Brian said it best. We watched the trailer for it and he goes, outside of just like the fire aspect, I could have not tell you which one was Way of Water and which one was Fire and Ash. And I was like,
yeah,
I can tell
like exactly the same movie. Yeah, except for the fire. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I can only tell because the new cast have red face paint on their bodies and not all blue, green, and orange. But yeah, there's not really much to say about Avatar. It's Avatar. I mean, it's the same plot. Just doing it with it. Oh yeah, there's also this fire tribe as well. Let's introduce them, and in another 4 years we'll have another Avatar, and then another Avatar, and another Avatar. And it's just it is what it fucking is. And then of course, like I said, the SpongeBob movie. I don't like SpongeBob. I don't think Brian cares for SpongeBob much either. So probably not going to see that movie. And then we got Christmas Day.
There are 2 other movies for that date. Well, one of them, they got a great cast. One of them's got Ben Mendelsohn, Jim Caviezel, Sam Worthington, Gael Garcia Bernal, or at least a notable cast. But it's called Zero AD. But then I looked into it and found out it's one of those Angel Studios releases. So it's basically a religious movie. So don't really care about that. Then there's Is This Thing On, which is directed by Bradley Cooper, starring Will Arnett. Bradley Cooper's in it as well, though. Laura Dern, some other people. I don't really know much of anything about this movie. It's Bradley Cooper.
Apparently, there is a trailer. I had not seen it, but apparently there's a trailer. There's shows I got to watch after we're done.
It's a comedy drama, which I would like to see Bradley Cooper lighten up and do some stuff. I mean, it did Star is Born, obviously. They did that Maestro, which I didn't even see because I don't care about that. This one, if it is truly, at least part comedy, it might be enjoyable. Although it looks like it's just a comedy background. It says, as their marriage unravels, Alex faces middle age and divorce, seeking new purpose in New York comedy scene, while wife Tess confronts the sacrifices she made for the family. Forcing them to navigate co-parenting identity. So yeah, it doesn't sound like a very funny movie to me. So.
No, it sounds like an Oscar baity movie at the end of the year.
Yeah,
but if it gets Will Arnett,
I'm not excited about this at all.
If it helps Will Arnett get some nominations, I'm not going to be mad at it because I think he deserves at least some recognition for his, maybe not for this movie, but for other shit he's done.
Yeah, but Bradley Cooper's another one of those people who is like, he used to make movies I really enjoyed when he was like, being fun. And then he decided, I'm just gonna do nothing but serious movies now. It's like, come on, dude, lighten the fuck up. I like you better when you're doing like the A-Team. Come on.
Yeah, I miss Bradley Cooper and like Wedding Crashers. He's just a fucking prick. I mean, we still got the occasional like Rocket, which he was great as. But it's like, I want to see fun Bradley Cooper again, like Hangover and shit. I just got the Christmas Day movies. You got anything else?
Nope.
Okay. I still don't think this movie's coming out, but I really don't think this movie's coming out. But it is labeled for Christmas Day. This still does not feel like a real thing, but apparently Anaconda. It doesn't feel like a real movie. Jack Black, Paul Rudd, Steve Zahn, A group of friends is going through a midlife crisis. They decide to make remake a favorite movie from their youth, but encounter unexpected events when they enter the jungle. So they're basically trying to go and remake the movie Anaconda, but end up fucking getting into the real Anaconda. I guess is from what it is. There's no trailer yet, which is why I feel like this movie's not. Like, that doesn't mean that the movie's not coming out, but this movie just feels like
the longest joke in history, just a big con. This movie's not actually getting made because I mean,
yeah.
it sounds it's a weird concept, and I mean it could be fun. It's basically a comedy requel of Anaconda, is what it is, which I'm all for. I mean, I like the cast and stuff, but it's so weird though.
Part of
I don't know what to think
me
of it.
almost wants them to be playing themselves. Are they supposed to be playing themselves?
I don't think so.
Because I almost think it'd be funnier because they're trying to remake Anaconda that they were actually playing Paul Rudd, Jack Black, and then that's why they don't realize that the Anaconda's real and not like the animatronic one. I think I'd almost think it'd be funnier if that was the case. But like I said, I haven't seen a trailer yet, so I can't judge.
I don't think I knew Steve Zahn was in this too. I love that.
It just does not feel like a real fucking movie. It just feels like a joke. Even when they announced it like a year ago, I was like, that's not happening. Really? Of all the movies, I like Anaconda, so I have nothing against it, but it feels like the most random fucking thing ever.
Well, it's from the writer of Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent and Beverly Hills Cop Axel F. He also directed Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent.
All right, so I mean, it's at least things I like. Yeah, this movie just feels so, and especially on Christmas Day. That right there as well makes it feel like this is not fucking real.
Well, honestly, I'm so happy it's coming out on Christmas Day because really, Christmas Day used to be like a great day for like a ton of releases, and there'd be something for everything. There'd be Oscar bait, and there'd be like the family movie, and there might be a good comedy. And this year, it's like there's a whole bunch of serious shit, and then that. So hopefully that'll be the one. That'll probably be the one.
I guess they'll consider Avatar the Christmas movie, but they're just releasing it early.
Yeah.
But yeah, this just does not feel like a real thing. Outside of that, I mean, there's Marty Supreme, which is Timothy Chalamet. I watched the trailer for it. He's playing a ping pong master. It's got Gwyneth Paltrow in it as well. Odessa Azon, who you talked about earlier. Fran Dresser. But it's a Safdie brother. It's the other Safdie brother, not
Safdie,
the one.
And it's Timothy Chalamet, and it's about a ping pong. It's like, could you have more things to make me less interested in this movie?
Yeah, it's not something that's going to move the needle for me. And the other two movies, they're bold, but I don't know if they're actual like release movies.
Well, there's The Housemaid, which is a thriller starring Sweeney and Amanda Seyfried. And then there's Song Sung Blue, which is basically a Neil Diamond cover band couple played by Hugh Jackman and Kate Hudson.
That right there honestly sold me. I'll watch them do that.
What it is, Lightning and Thunder, a Milwaukee husband and wife Neil Diamond tribute act, experience soaring success and devastating heartbreak in the musical journey together. And it's directed by Craig Brewer, who's done everything from Hustle and Flow to the Footloose remake to Black Snake Moan and a bunch of other stuff. And he tends to use music a lot in his movies. So I think it's going to be a good movie, but I don't know. I mean, it's Neil Diamond cover band, so I don't know what to expect from it. So my brain just keeps going back to Saving Silverman when I hear that. So.
I agree. And if I get Hugh Jackman with the fucking hair like that, I'm fucking there for it. I will watch that.
Well, the one still I see of him has got him with the hair. So
I saw that. And then of course The Housemaid, Paul Feig, I can take it or leave it. But then you had
I didn't realize it was Paul Feig. Never mind.
Yes, Paul Feig and Sydney Sweeney's the lead. So I'm already just not there.
Although I will say, Paul Feig, not if this is not a comedy.
It says thriller.
Being good because he did favor movies, which I thought were good. His comedies I don't find funny at all.
No, it's follows a struggling woman who is happy to start over as a housemaid for an affluent elite couple. Sydney Sweeney, Brandon Sklenar.
He was just in that movie Drop. He was the main guy in that.
Oh, that guy. Okay, Amanda Seyfried.
Those are
that's really it. That's really it name wise. So yeah, it doesn't really do much for me. And that's Christmas. That's it. And there's nothing at the end of the year. So that's it. That's the fall. Like I said, it's there's some there that are intriguing and interesting, but it doesn't seem like a very strong rest of 2025. I mean, like I said, there's the ones that we're excited for, like Smashing Machine, Running Man, Predators, Wicked for Good for me, Anaconda.
Mortal
If that's
Kombat.
actually
They
a real,
added just today. I added Play Dirty to that list because Shane Black. It's got me
yeah.
sold. So
Anaconda, if that's actually a real fucking thing. So I mean, there are movies that are stuff that we're going to be excited to see, but in terms of like, oh man, this is going to be such a powerful end of the year, it's really not.
it's really
I don't really know much more to talk about. Obviously, Avatar is going to win the year. Avatar and Wicked are probably going to be the two big, and Zootopia. Those three are going to be your top box office stuff. I mean, it's not going to be. It's going to be without a doubt. Those are going to be. I don't think see any other movie coming after those three. It's going to be those three, and then fucking like everybody. It's going to be a lot like how it was in the summer with Lilo, How to Train Your Dragon, and Jurassic World. Except Superman surprised everybody.
yeah. If I had to
I don't.
guess, like my favorite movies for the rest of the year, I think Play Dirty will be good for me. I think Predators, Running Man, um, those are probably the main three that I'm most excited about. I think.
But what are your guys' favorite or not favorites? What are you guys excited about? Is there anything that we mentioned everything that we know of. So I mean, clearly there's not anything that we left out. But what are you guys excited about? Let us know in the comments below. We hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you guys did, go ahead and hit that like, share, and subscribe button to the channel so you guys stay up to date with all the latest videos popping up on the Movie Crusaders. And of course, you can follow us on all the social media outlets you see below. Out right now is our Decades of Animation, the 2010s. Great decade in animation. One of our longer episodes because we had plenty to talk about with that. Next week, we'll be coming back with our final episode of the Decades of Animation where we talk about the 2020s. Another very, very popular, and we're only halfway through it, episode. We're going to be talking about a lot of movies that we love out of that. Also, coming up next week, we will be having our end of month review for August. There's plenty of movies that we are going to be talking about for there, and some of them are going to have opinions that you probably are not going to like. Because there's some big popular movies that came out that people are like happy about, not in terms of box office, but Brian and I did not enjoy them. So be on the lookout for that. And like I said, September, I mean, much like August, not a lot of big stuff to talk about in terms of like same day, hey, we need to talk about reviews. So we might do another Decades of in September, or we'll come up with something else. So that way we have, content for you guys to watch. But till next time, we are the Movie Crusaders. I'm Sean Wasku. That is Brian Michaels. And until next time, in case we don't see you, go watch some movies, go have some fun.
You're still here. It's over. Go home.